The origin of Bontrager was probably the least planned business ever. If I explained it to somebody who knew about business, they would just shake their head and say, "You had no business doing that. You know, you should have gone off to work for somebody." Because I'm not a business man, and I have no background in that. I just like to design parts, and that was my approach to it.
Keith Bontrager. Keith is there to make sure that we don't do something that we shouldn't.
Keith is an exceptionally straightforward individual. He doesn't waver. He doesn't make compromises. He won't tell you what you want to hear. And that's immensely valuable for product development. We make sure that it all goes through Keith. Keith has the opportunity to tell us what we're missing, and he does. And you can't pay for that. I mean, he's articulate. He's historically based. He knows what he's talking about. He's the best grim voice you'll ever get.
You can't be optimistic in engineering. You have to be brutally honest and skeptical. That's all of science and all of engineering is founded on those principles. Optimism in engineering is a really, really bad combination.
We test everything, and we test it to extremes. I remember from doing our first carbon handlebar project, we had trash cans full of handlebars when we were done that we felt no qualm about destroying because the reason to test is to learn. We find out how they fail, what causes them to fail, what load they fail, and we can design and build around that. It's really the only way to truly hone a product into a superior piece of equipment.
Sometimes I get a question from people coming through saying, you know, why are your standards so high, and why are they at the level that they are? And to me it comes down to safety and reliability. If I'm not willing to ride the componentry, I shouldn't expect an end consumer to, and we know why we need to test, and we test to a high standard.
A huge advantage that Bontrager has over numerous competitors is that we're part of Trek. And as part of Trek, we have access to world-class facilities throughout the world with some of the best engineers in the cycling industry. Because of that, we're able to tap into those resources, tap into the best materials and technologies available to deliver product that otherwise would be impossible.
When the team made the switch to any switches that they've made, that they started riding Bontrager wheels, that they've started riding Bontrager bars and stems, and all these components that we've given to them, it's big news for us because we know, Trek knows how particular they are.
People still somehow doubt that we are actually supplying what Discovery and Travis Brown and you know, JHK and the rest of the pro athletes use. We don't rebrand other people's products and say, you know, here's this great part that Discovery rides. They're ours. They're developed in-house, they're engineered in-house, tested in-house. Discovery would shit a brick if CSC ever pulled up to the line with a TTX bike with a full Bonti kit on it. And not because of a sponsorship thing, but because they firmly believe that they have an advantage over CSC with their bike that CSC doesn't otherwise get.